What's going on, everybody? It's your man, 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. You already know what it is, man. So shout out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody doing good and all that good shit. I want to get straight to the bullshit because I ain't really got that much time, and I just feel like it just must be some things that need to be said based off of this situation. If I feel like this dude is going to help himself, because I just don't really think he fucking gets it. Like, I don't think he really get it. And look, man, constructive criticism in a lot of ways should hurt, you know what I'm saying, fanatics' feelings. And anybody who feels some type of way about what the fuck I'm about to say, hey, so be it. It needs to be said. Because this ain't about how much you're supposed to like a person. This isn't about how a person is conducted himself gracefully throughout the course of his career or anything like that. Nah. Ain't none of, it's not about any of that. It's solely about life or death. It's solely about make it or break you. It's either gonna make you or break you. And you're at the point in your career where you about to make or break the whole shit. So, excuse me. So you need to understand some shit, Anthony Joshua. And I'm gonna tell you exactly what that is. Hopefully, shit like this reaches your ears and it sinks in. Clearly, some things do, because shit, as soon as we said you needed a new damn trainer, it seemed like your ass was in the States in a half a goddamn second. But shout out to everybody in here. D-Town, what's goody? George, what's popping with you? Miguel, salute. Tommy Sanchez, what's good? Don't ask me what's popping. Titanium Rubber, Fah Fah, what's going on with you? All right, man. So look, it boils down to this, man. So I read an article or whatever in the Zone or some shit like that. I guess it was based off of that hour-long interview Anthony Joshua gave. And pretty much he was vocal on about, the trainers that he went over to the States and he went to go meet and stuff like that. And this was the one question the only question that I really cared about out of all the shit that I read was this one. Is Rob Mccrakken going to be is he going to be in your training camp? Is he still going to be your trainer or not? And he said, yeah. Well, with that being said, Anthony Joshua's response after that was, well, of course, out of all of the guys that he went and met, to make a long story short, don't quote me on this, but it was said along these lines that Rob Mccrakken is going to have to reach out to those guys and see if he can work with them and vice versa. Because it's bigger than and he said Rob might feel like that's not something that he feel as though he can do, work with these guys for the next 6 months, and he might want to back out of the situation. Or in my mind is this: it shouldn't matter how the hell Rob Mccrakken feel. It shouldn't matter what his feelings are towards the whole shit. I don't care about none of that. Anthony Joshua, you already thinking the wrong way because you trying to accommodate feelings. You can't accommodate feelings when it comes to your career, bro. The fact of the matter is this: you dumped all of that money into that team you had, and nobody had an answer for anything the entirety of the night in your first fight. So are you going to have faith that he's just magically going to be able to reinvent the wheel the second go around and then it's just going to happen? I mean, if Rob Mccrakken wasn't the right coach for you for Andy Ruiz, why would he be the right coach for you for Alexander Usyk? This was a change that you were been supposed to make. It's just you've been winning, so I guess people ain't really been pressing it like that. And maybe it's an inevitable part of, your journey that you probably don't want to accept, but you need to accept it. This portion of the ride, the portion when shit gets real, the portion when your undisputed legacy or undisputed lifestyle and legacy and all of those things are on the line. Those are the things that you should be focusing your attention to. And for real, if you're worried about if Rob Mccrakken can work with or vice versa for 6 months, bro, you're trying to accommodate people for your feelings and emotions. Boxing ain't never been based upon that. And being great at boxing isn't based upon how you accommodate somebody's emotion. I mean, look at the game you win. It ain't really based upon people being nice. It's about your best chance at being great. And how do you have your best chance at being great? And if you think that, worrying about ego stroking Rob Mccrakken is going to be to your benefit, then shit, you already lost. Don't even bet on him. Don't think you're going to catch a W, because it's not going to happen. If this how you feel like this is supposed to work, you need to be completely broken back down and built back up like a phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Reemerging from the ashes and shit like that, like a little baby Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Resurrectionist and shit like that. Like you fresh up out your mama's pussy or something like that. You need to be brought down and brought all the way back up in those fashions. And if you're not going to be brought down and back up on all of those type of fashions, and Rob Mccrakken can't do it for you, then look, man, he's not the guy. And clearly you know that too. But you trying to find ways to sugarcoat ego stroke and stuff like that. Look, bro, you meet with people, you already know if they're the right thing for you or the wrong thing for you. And in some cases, maybe you might not know if they're the right thing for you, the wrong thing for you, because you might be cool and comfy with, I guess it's some oxymoron kind of shit to say, you might be comfy with what's comfortable. But here's the thing that most people don't know, or a lot of weak people don't understand. Comfort can become a prison, bro. And your comfort has allowed it to become a prison. And the more you stay in this place, worrying about how other people feel about what's best for your career, when it's like, look, these are the type of fights that are available to you right now. This is what it looked like. Okay, you can fight Alexander Usyk, beat him. Then look, man, whatever happens with Tyson Fury, come back to that. Then you might have a Tyson Fury fight around the corner from you. Undisputed fight. Biggest fight in the whole world. Who fucking knows? Who knows? This is the world of boxing. We don't know. But I'm just saying, that's what the horizon looked like. I mean, Dillian White, you really wouldn't be worried about that because you already sparked him out. So at the end of the day, whether it's White or whether it's Fury, or whoever the case may be, but that's what your future is looking like. But it ain't really looking like that if you're worried about accommodating Rob Mccrakken, man. I'm praying for you. Really. Really, really. I'm really praying for you that you make the right choice. Because if you wanted to be around fighters and you wanted to be around other great coaches and around other great systems, look, bro, you wouldn't even be going back to the UK. You will keep your ass over in America because ain't nothing really over there for you in the UK right now. Your success isn't based off being in the UK right now. Your success is based off of being in America. You need to get one of these American coaches and one of these American systems and get your shit together. Period. Period. You got all the money in the world, shit. Bring your team with you, shit. Make your trip outside of the States fucking comfortable if you can manage to do that. Nobody really away from home can be comfortable, bro, but that's the shit you're gonna have to thrive in if you want to be one of the world's greatest heavyweight boxers, or even have a chance to be mentioned among that. But Rob Mccrakken, bro, man, look, man. He said, tell Carl Fry stop crying. Appreciate you, George, with the super chat. Listen, man. It's on you. At the end of the day, because you can only blame yourself at the end of the day. Because you got everything any fighter, other than, I would say, shit, you even got probably more than Canelo got right now, for real. Like, you got all of the money, all of the best everything at your disposal. But that don't mean it's the best. You're making the best choices. Shit, take all of the best of everything that you fucking got, man. And man, dude, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. At the end of the day, if this is the type of mind state Anthony Joshua got, because for real, low key, I think he kind of cracking for real. I think he kind of cracking, and you definitely gonna fall all the way apart around Rob Mccrakken. That's for sure. Because you sitting there talking about, bro, I can't lose no more. I'm just ready. Man, this is life or death with me. Man, I'm gonna get in that joint. He might just get thrown to the floor and all of this. Hey, man, it might be fight talk, but for real, underneath of it all, I think it's some validity to all of that shit. Because he don't know what to do. That's how he got beat. That's the type, when you hear a person talking like that, that's coming from a place of you got beat up in such a way you don't know what to do. You don't know whether you need to fire him. You don't you don't know whether to box. You don't know whether to bang. You don't know whether to brawl. You don't know what to do right now. Because you got a lot of things on your mind right now. Because for real, this is probably the deepest water you ever been in. And it don't get no shallower, fam. This is the deepest water he's ever been in. Everything that he has or is going to want to ever have is based on whether he wins this fight or not. And you putting a lot out there, bro. And sometimes the best thing to say is nothing at all. Because everybody is just tearing apart where you at right now and the choices that you making. And you got to be, honestly, whether I feel as though it's the right choice or not, that's a choice you got to make as a man. But realistically, look, it's going to destroy you if you're wrong. You really going if you know you didn't have the opportunity to make all of the, basically what I'm saying, if you know you had all of the opportunities and the time, and basing off what I've read, that you basically got about 6 months worth of time. If you know that you had that type of time and you didn't use every second to make the best possible outcomes for what you consider your career, and you go out there and you lose it all, man, dude, you ain't got nobody but to blame yourself. And if you see that weird looking, ugly motherfucking curly head, big eared motherfucker sitting in your corner still, you know you ain't got nobody but to blame yourself, because ain't nobody tell you to keep that big eared, weird motherfucker in that corner, man. You better let him go. Look, man. Rob's like cracking, AJ like Pookie. Man, look, man. He got to be like something. I'm like, man, what is it like? What do you got, like a fucking like a daddy or like a mentor complex or something like that? You got to keep this nigga around or something like that to like handhold you, or what, you don't feel like you grown enough to monitor your own career and the coaches that you bring in for real? Like what type of comfort what type of comfort do you need as a fighter for real? What do you even want to pay this nigga for? I mean, shit, he done made a lot of money with you. It ain't like he gonna be hurting if you let him go. He good. He been good. Him and Carl Froch, 80,000 at Wembley. He good, man. But at the end of the day, if you lose, you're not good. He would. He would, but at the end of the day, how does that look? Anthony Joshua getting with Tyson Fury training. So if them dudes had to fight, who's going to train who? The nigga can't just stand, he just can't stand. He just can't stand on the side of the ring and scream out commands for both of them niggas. Like, and I don't know, like, what is in Anthony Joshua's mind that thinks this is like a 5 or 6 months process? Once you get with a coach that pulls you back from the brink of all destruction, I don't think that's something you separate from. Because there's a lot of things that Anthony Joshua can unpack on the American coaching aspect side of his career that Rob Mccrakken couldn't unpack for him. Rob Mccrakken wasn't going to give you no real head movement like that. He wasn't going to really sharpen your tool set, make, you know what I'm saying, your footwork better. He wasn't going to give you none of that. He was giving you safety. This is the way to play it safe as a fighter, and regardless of whether knockouts come or we go 12 rounds, jab, jab, left hand, jab, jab, or strong right hand, or we gonna go 12 rounds and we just gonna get it like that, measuring distance and keep playing it safe. That's all Rob Mccrakken is gonna give you. Now it's at the point to where, look, the type of fighters that you're gonna have to go against, you're gonna have to learn how to put that shit together, bro. Because from what I saw, clearly you can't put it together, man. And the more and more that dude pours on, man, look, man, yo, like, call it, well, gotta call it for what it is, man. The dude got him shook. He got him shook. And once again, you measuring all of these things, you measuring the 80,000, you measuring all of the freaking fans, you know what I'm saying? All being under all of the lights, being loved everywhere you go, thousands of kids chasing you in the street. Like, yo, once you lose that status of champion, all of that stuff, man, a lot of perks go from that shit. And yeah, you know, people gonna respect you and all of that stuff, but man, look, man, don't nobody like to lead that lifestyle. Especially when you ain't even feel like you accomplished all you wanted to get. You almost got right to the top, man, and then you fell apart right at the end. No fighter want to go out like, look, man, everybody got it set up in their head, especially those type of fighters. They already got it set in their head how great they want to be. It ain't measured off for just a couple of belts. He won it all. He won it all. He won it all. So it ain't gonna feel good to lose it all. And I'm telling you, all of that shit is on that man's mind right now. It's all on his mind. Listen to how he talking, man. Listen to how he talking. And at the same time, you in a tug of war with yourself right now. You don't know if you want, like first of all, and here, like, look, let me be honest. Let me just kick it the way that like how I kick it. Like, I gotta just be 100% honest. What the fuck do you need Rob Mccrakken to reach out to any coach for and make sure he get along? Really? Really? Look, man, you care a lot more than I do. Let me tell you that much. You care a lot more than I do. Let me tell you that much. Only way AJ getting them belts back is through Tyson Fury. AJ was trying to play the same game plan. Randy Ruiz too. But yeah, man. Yeah, like, yeah, man. Look, I don't know, man. Your definition of boxing finesse ain't mine. I'm here to tell you that. His definition of boxing finesse ain't mine. Like the displays you put on against the Joseph Parkers of the world, the displays you put it on against and Andy Ruiz too, like, you know, those are the type of performances that, you know, they're not gonna get you around the world. They're not gonna get you around every level. Like, okay, if you were to base it off of this, the performance he put on, say, Joseph Parker, or the performance he puts on against Andy Ruiz, you measure those performances up to the level of talent that is in the top of the division. And then you ask yourself as a fight fan, or you ask yourself as a fighter, if those are the type of performances that are going to get you to the top of the tops in the world of boxing in the heavyweight division. And if you already know the answer is no, then you got a lot more work to do. Plain and simple. I don't even know how else to explain it. Man, he need to get up, man. Look, he did the right thing by coming to America. But the fact is, man, you need to already let it be known that he got to go. Ain't no 6 months, ain't no couple months. Yo, just shut up. Just shut up. Figure out who you want to get with and get in the gym. Period. What other teammates he got, like the moment he lost, he should have been over here that day. That day. I'd have been feeling him out all over the country. But if you're just going to sit up here and, you know, joke back, like, I don't know, man. I'm shutting down all of that media shit, all of that talking. Like, that shit don't, like, fuck all that. None of that shit even matter right now, for real. You got fans. You need to figure this shit out. And basically what I'm just here to say that Anthony Joshua doesn't have the luxury of giving Rob Mccrakken all of this power to like speak to other people that you want to train with. Like your mind is all you're not thinking right. You're not thinking. That's not. You're not going to win that way. Do he want to stay around and be in my corner? What the fuck? You need him as a conciliere, whatever the fuck you call him? A conciliary? Do you need Rob Mccrakken as a fucking conciliary? That ugly motherfucking dude standing in the corner, you're fucking, that ain't contributing shit? Cause then you gotta think of what type of jealousy is gonna come in if you slide him out of the number one spot. Man, nobody got time for all of that. Yo, this is make it or break it season. And you either gonna make it or you gonna, hey. Ron McCracken wrote a letter to the judge to keep AJ out of jail when he was a kid, thinking it'd be hard for AJ to file Rob as he feels he owes Rob and believe him from day one. Look, man, it wouldn't be hard for me. It wouldn't be hard for me because once again, it's either your career, if he really fuck with you like that, and he really got some type of life, if he really fuck with you, and if it's really life outside of boxing, then he's still going to be the same type of person he was to you, and he going to be in debt to you because, look, he done brought you way farther than Carl Froch ever could. So all I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, it should still always be love because look, when it come down to boxing, life, men, anything, it's business and business. It's business. It ain't personal. So look, you can be in debt to Rob McCracken all day long, still have all of that love, but keep that dude around if you want to. I'm telling you what I know. Keep him around if you want to. Or keep playing around with this time that you got right now because you want to know what? Usyk clowning the shit out you right now. The way he's talking compared to the way you're talking, like this dude's not even worried about you. He ain't even worried about you because he know you got that steep of a learning curve in front of you. So play around with your time and play around with, you know what I'm saying, your love for Rob McCracken and think about the nostalgic years of the shit that he's done for you and all of those things. You could do all that if you want to, but guess what? Usyk already know you ain't got enough to beat him right now. And you're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to show that to him because he's beating you. He had you on stanky legs. Knowing that he's had you in all of those different places, bro, the last thing he's worried about is you. You can't go to a press conference and intimidate him. You can't put in there, there's nothing you could do to make this dude feel anything other than what he's feeling right now. Like a unified champion that sleeps good at night. There's nothing that you can say or do to make him feel anything outside of that other than to show this dude. But you're only going to be able to show him one way. And that's to get rid of the weird-looking motherfucker in the corner. Better decide. Better decide. It ain't personal. AJ has more than paid back Rob for what he did for him. He can move on. That's what I'm saying. In the grand scheme of things, it's like, yo, how many millions of dollars has Rob McCracken made off of being in Anthony Joshua corner? Man, you're in the UK, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be considered one of the most decorated coaches on that side of the pond. So how many more ways could a dude could say thank you to you? If it's really life or death, the way Anthony Joshua says it's life or death, then your actions will show us that it's life or death. Because staying within the same comfort zone that you've been in, that don't show us that it's life or death. That shows us that, hey, you know, I'm caring about it. That shows you ain't in the right place. Or that shows you're just too scared to step out and do what you need to do to be great. Or you need some form of familiarity to make you feel comfortable when you go up against a person like that or whatever. I don't know, but that just shows signs of weakness to me, if that's what it is. Clunky. So Wilder stuck with D from the AM to the pro, and to some extent, that father-son relationship leads them to letting you off and making allowances. You need a Teddy Atlas drill sergeant type environment. That's what I said. First day I made that, the first day after the fight, I said, man, he need to go see Teddy. First day after the fight, you need somebody who's not there to hold your hand. Like I said, man, comfort can become a hell of a fucking cage, bro. A hell of a cage. And Anthony Joshua was so used to winning and has had so much success. He's had everything. Like, let's be serious. I'm not speaking on his life, or I'm not saying things have always come to Anthony Joshua easy, but they necessarily didn't come to him hard either. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, you know what I'm saying? And it don't hurt that he's not a, you know what I'm saying, a bad looking person too. You know what I'm saying? He a physical specimen. He's tall, he's big. His intangibles carried him far enough to where he could be a unified champion of the world. He's did it in so many amateur fights, so many pro fights. Anthony Joshua's reached highs of highs in the boxing world that a lot of people would just dream for. You don't get that type of energy behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, every fighter don't get that type of energy behind him. So he's reached the highs of the highs. So knowing all of that, and then you're still winning and stuff like that, like, yo, you're comfortable. You've been comfortable. You took time in a lot of the ways to where you're not like, it's not like you're a horrible boxer. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Anthony Joshua is a horrible boxer. I'm just saying he's just the typical European boxer. You know what I'm saying? And that's not enough on the elite level. And knowing that he's been comfortably knocking people out and doing all of that shit has been a lot more of a detriment to him now, considering when you see him go up against the Usyks of the world, shit, even the Andy Ruiz's of the world, the hand speed, how he can't put together a barrage, a combination to save his life. He don't even know how to clinch. So that's what I mean by his comfort has been a cage. The dude don't know how to clinch, man. So he's at a disadvantage in a lot of areas to where, yo, you should be getting, it should be a must. It should be very important for you to get better. And in a lot of ways at this portion in your career. Shouldn't be sleeper holds and hands and forearms across the throat and arms behind the heads and clench. Like, yo, he been too comfortable, man. So it's got to be all of the opposites. It's got to be everything outside of that. He got to be everything but what he was lately. If AJ goes in heavy, steamroll Usyk for ease, easier than Chisora had it. On account of better fundamentals than Chisora, the weight, the skill of ones is what he needed. And see, that's probably why he couldn't duplicate the kind of success Derek Chisora had. Because Derek Chisora didn't waste no time. He was willing to get punched in the face. He went at him. He knew he had to be the bigger guy. And one thing Usyk was worried about, man, if I get hit with one of these bombs, I'm going to sleep. Man, Usyk just ain't a devastating like force in the center of the ring. You gave him that. You gave him that, where Derek Chisora would never give him that. And where you gave him the ability to operate in the way he wanted, Derek Chisora didn't. So Usyk had to be way more fleet of foot and fight with a lot more urgency. And it's sad that Derek Chisora could put together a better game plan and exercise true heavyweight dominance in an area in which you couldn't, but you're supposed to be the unified champion of the world. You can't be serious, bro. Everybody that's on that team right now has got to have some responsibility for why this dude is out there joint trying to time this dude with and be the more slick boxer on the outside of the ring. How does that make sense? Who failed in that area to where it's just like, okay, for this dude to just sit up here and be like, I'm gonna try to outbox Alexander Usyk. So that means somebody's not telling them that you're not that, you ain't on that level. Shouldn't they be saying that shit? Somebody should be saying that shit. It's like, yo, your boxing ain't on that level. Get back to form. I ain't hear none of that shit in the corner. A nigga gotta say, yo, you might want to go back to being what you are, the bigger dude, because you can't do that shit. Fuck out of here, man. That's why I respected Lennox Lewis. He fought aggressive when he needed to, boxed when he needed to, depending on the style of opponent. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lennox Lewis got a lot more things than Anthony Joshua got too, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It made him a lot more capable. But Lennox Lewis, you know what I'm saying? He got implemented in a culture to where, holding people accountable was very fucking necessary, man. But man, I gotta get ready to get the fuck up out of here, man. I basically said a majority of what the fuck I needed to say, man. Anthony Joshua got a motherfucking he gotta understand, like, yo, clearly them motherfuckers ain't telling you the right thing. You trying to accommodate other people, that's not gonna get you there. And know that, man, yo, you gonna fall. Look, man, there ain't no coming back from this shit. You only got one more shot at it, bro. There ain't no rematch clause on top of a rematch clause on top of a rematch clause. It's you gotta win right the fuck now. And I already know, you know what I'm saying, he got you shook like the monster in your fucking closet. So you better make the right choices ASAP. And for real, get rid of fucking Curly, man. As we always say at the end of this shit, it costs you nothing. Pay a nigga no mind. Respect.